Hey, I'm back with another Software Sunday, and today I want to talk about an expansion for Chromaphone. So for those that don't know, Chromaphone is a percussion synthesizer from Applied Acoustic Systems, I believe. And basically what it does is it synthesizes percussion instruments using physical modeling. And so what I want to talk about today is an expansion they put out about 6 months ago called Cinematix. And basically this has a bunch of percussion and things geared towards cinematic instruments. So let's check it out. I'm going to go through a few of the instruments here so you can hear them for yourself. So here's one called Wood Percussion. So this one doesn't follow the pitch of the keyboard, but as you can hear, it has lots of different variations in velocity. I like that. That's one of the great things about physical modeling. It changes timbre depending on how hard you hit it. Let's go to the next one. Pretty cool. Also nice. Probably shouldn't go through all of these. I'll go through the interesting ones. I'm going to go to the mini tablas. I like this one. I like that one. I'm not sure if it sounds exactly like tablas, but it does sound cool. It's definitely usable. Let's see Indian tap. That one's kind of funny. I don't know what that has to do with Indian tap, but it sounds good. Let's check out the shakers. Actually sounds pretty good to me. Has too much reverb, but that's alright. That one sounds pretty good too. Check out the Washboard. At the highest velocity level, I don't like it, but if you play it on some of the lower velocity levels, it actually sounds pretty good. Let's go to triangle here. Good, but not enough sustain. But one of the great things about physical modeling instruments is you can actually change different things that you don't like about it. So if I go in here to edit and it's not decaying for long enough for me, just turn this up. And I could do other things to change the timbre if I wanted to, but it sounds all right. Chamberine. I don't like the sound of that. Let's see here. I don't need any more. Try this. Not familiar with this instrument, if it is a real instrument, but it sounds okay. Let's check out the snares. Doesn't really sound like a snare to me, but it could be usable. Let's check out this one. I didn't like that one so much. That one I like. I also like that one. Again, too much reverb, but okay. That one has sustain on it, so if you hold it down, it has, I don't know, it's supposed to be like a roll with brushes or something. It's interesting, at least. That's okay. Also okay. Let's see. Stick Rebellion. Actually, I like that. It's kind of like a, what is it, rim shot or something? I'm sorry, I'm not a drummer, but it sounds cool. Brush ensemble. I like that one too. That was pretty good. And last one. Yeah, that's so-so. Let's look at the toms. I'm not digging that one too much. I actually like that one. That one's pretty good. That one's really cool. To me, that doesn't really sound like a tom drum, but it does sound like somebody like hitting on the side of like a big metal container. So maybe that's what the train is alluding to. That one's a cool one too. Let's see, Jungle Tom. I like that one. That one's kind of like a big ethnic style drum. Maybe not a tom drum, but I don't know. Not taiko either. I don't know what to describe that as, but it sounds good. Definitely usable. Let's see this. That's more of what I would expect a tom drum to sound like. That one's pretty good. Very ringy, but that's all right. That one's really cool. I like that one. Yeah, so. Let's see this. That's all right too. And let's see. Not the most realistic, but definitely usable. It's cool, I think. Let's look at the cymbals. These are the ones I think they don't really come off so well. They're more like sound effects to me, but still cool. And like I said, I don't know if that sounds like a real cymbal, but cool sound effect. So like I said, you have those, but like I said, not my favorite parts. Let's see, chimes and bells. Nice. That's kind of nice. It's kind of like a ethereal, nice, semi-realistic, but also kind of unrealistic bell. Here we go. Ghost Carrion. That's nice. It sounds somewhat like I would expect it to sound, but also kind of synthetic. It's cool. This one's cool. It doesn't follow the pitch, but it's definitely a nice effect. It sounds fairly realistic to me, like hitting something made out of metal. I don't know if it's exactly what I would use on everything, but definitely sounds cool. Let me take the distortion off this. That's a cool one. Let me go to the hits. This is actually my favorite one, so it has lots of cool, like, cinematic impacts. This one, I think, is probably my favorite bank here, these hits. I think you could use these for lots of things. They're not like the 100% realistic, but they do have lots of impact, and they sound good. And like I said, for all these, you can go in and tweak them. So if there's something you don't like, you can go in and mess with it and change it to make it suit your needs. I'll do a few more effects and strings. Like a harpsichord type thing. Cool pad. More dissonant pad. These are more like synthesizer patches, which is cool to add, but not really my thing. This one probably could have been put in the hits, but that's okay. Let's see this. Certainly interesting. That's a really cool one. I actually like that. It's kind of an interesting effect you wouldn't expect. But let's go to the last bank here, the Arpeggiators. I think this is my favorite one. I like this one. Kind of goes back and forth like that. They honestly should have put that in cymbals. That actually does sound like a ride cymbal. There's one last one. These are kind of cool. It might be like inspiration to start off a song or something. Lots of these are very interesting and things I wouldn't normally think of using. And so, obviously, there's lots of things you can do in here. One of the things that's kind of a problem, though, is if you want to use some of like the toms or those hits as like big epic drums, you can't really stack them. But one thing that does come to the rescue is Geist or any other sampler. You can take this and you can just sample these. And because it's physical modeling, by just putting small variations in the velocity or anything else, you can get different sounding drums and you can stack them and put them together. So let me show you. Here's one I did. This is just, I cut up the slices and put them together, and it sounds like this. So it doesn't sound great, but I have about 8 layers, but it doesn't sound like a bunch, like 8 different drums. But if you randomize a few things and you put some effects on it, it sounds more like this. Oh, let me go down here. So to do that, all you have to do is spit these out. Just the panning settings, so they're going, each one is going into a different area, and then put the cutoff on there so you get kind of like velocity. And so the lower you go, or the lower velocity you have, the less the filter is open, etc. And then adjust the pre-delay, so each one has a different pre-delay setting that's randomized, and you get more of an ensemble sound. So there's lots of things you can do with this. It does have a little bit of a high CPU usage, but it's not so bad. And if you're worried about that and you want to use it in ensembles, you can just load it into a sampler. And the good thing about it is you can adjust it and you can take all the effects off and make it completely dry. So there's all sorts of things you can do with it. I think it's a really good sample pack they came out with. I think it's probably my favorite one from Chromaphone. I think they did a really good job with it. I hope they come up with more things like that, and if you come up with a cool patch for Chomaphone, let me know. If you want me to review something else, leave it below. If you have any comments or questions, leave that below too. Give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, do that, and until next time, see you.